verse. Go ahead, Ishan.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam.
Thank you. Okay. Hari, do you want to say Vandeham Shri Guru?
Okay. Vandeham Shri Guru Padakamalam Shri Guru Padakamalam. Wait.
Shri Yuta Padakamalam.
Shri Rupam Sagadanam
Ragana.
Tam
Raghunathanvitam.
Sadvaitam Savaditam Parijanam Sahitam Krishna Shri Radha Krishna Pada
Sagana. Sagana Lalita. Shri Vishakhanvitam. Thank you, Hari. Shriya, you want to go next?
Okay, Prabhuji. Hey Krishna, Karna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu Jagapate, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostate, Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hare Priye.
Mehak, you want to go next? Vancha
Kalpacharubhasya Kavasindu Vayevacha Patinanam Pavanavyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachadini Nirvashesha Sunyavadi Prasade Satarini.
Thank you, Vita. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Kathy.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you. We also say Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Okay, all right. So another Shriya is joining. I guess that is Anna.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will continue with the Vaman Dev story. So the main theme of the story is if you give something to Krishna, Krishna gives you much more, much more, right? If you give Krishna his time, if you say, chant for Krishna, Krishna will give you much more. Even he doesn't need anything, but he loves us. One of the example was, do you know the Sudama story? Everybody knows the Sudama story? Shriya, you know the Sudama story? Okay. Kathy, you know the Sudama story? So, who was Sudama? Who can tell? Yes, Ishan, who was Sudama?
Sudama was Krishna's old friend in school, and he was now like very poor with his wife. Wait, should I say the entire story?
No, let's see. Okay, so Nimai, do you know the Sudama story?
No, not really.
All right. So we will just quickly see. So Krishna, if you do something for Krishna, Krishna gives so much. There's so many examples. Vaman Dev is an example of. Yeah, so Nima, you remember now?
I think I know the story actually.
Okay, you want to say quickly, briefly?
So Sudama and his family were poor, and he one day he went to Krishna's palace,
and then they let him go in, and then um and then when he came back from the palace, he saw that his house, he wasn't poor.
Yes, yes, very nice. Yes. So if we see the Hare Krishna Mahima, so what we are discussing, that Vaman Dev story. So we are discussing this, like, what's the central theme? If you give something to Krishna, he will always give you so much more. If you give your time to Krishna by chanting, if you give your time to Krishna by reading his books, by listening to his pastime, Krishna will give you much more. Right? So it's not wasteful, we think, right? So like we were discussing the Sudama pastime, Sudama and Krishna used to be friends in the Sandipuni Muni. Sandipuni Muni was Krishna's guru. But even though Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he accepted a guru, right? He accepted a guru in the form of Sandipuni Muni. And Sudama was the Sudama was the friend of Krishna, and then he was very poor. And when Krishna became the king of Dwarka, Sudama's wife tells him that you should go and see Krishna, who's your friend. Sudama's wife was very hurt, like pained. She was hurt to see that they did not have enough food. And she was not hurt for herself, but she was like hurt for saying, my husband doesn't have enough food to eat. His bones are showing. Right? So then Sudama, I'll just quickly say this, just because our main story is Vaman Dev. So Sudama then goes, but he didn't have anything. So they borrowed they got some rice, it's a little bit rice in a potli, in a cloth. He got some rice, and he put it under his armpit, and he took it because he was ashamed. What will he give to the king of Dwarka? He'll just give this much rice. So he went, and he went with that rice. And when first Rukmini Devi saw Sudama, and she knew that he's Krishna's friend, and they like gave him the honor of like a Brahman, because he's a Brahman. They made him sit down on a very exalted seat, and Krishna himself, he washed his feet, and then he asked, like, what did you get me? Sudama was very ashamed that he has just the rice. So, but Krishna took that, and he ate those 2 bites and of so he took those 2 bites of rice, and Rukmani stopped, like, what will you give more than this to Sudama? How will you reciprocate? So once Krishna took those 2 bites of rice, in the village of Sudama, his house was turned into a big palace. So Krishna just took 2 bites of rice, and that was not like cooked even rice, very nice. It was not very good rice. And when Sudama goes back to his home, he's not able to recognize his wife. His wife is in beautiful clothes, jewelry, and his house is not there. It's all transformed into a big palace. So see how Krishna is so merciful, that if you have love for him, if you have a friendship with him, if you really love him, he will make sure that you are taken care of. Same thing happened with the fruit seller lady. Do you guys remember the fruit seller lady story? Do you guys remember? When Krishna was little, very little, probably 1.5, 2 years old, and the fruit seller lady is outside and saying, do you want to take fruits? I'm selling fruits. Do you want to take fruits? Do you want to take fruits? And she has a basket full of fruits. And Krishna, being very little with curly hair, beautiful eyes like the lotus eyes of Krishna, and the moon-like face, and then he has shark-like earrings, and then he is wearing the waistband and the anklets. He's looking so beautiful in that bluish body. He's capturing everybody's heart. The fruit seller lady then sees Krishna. And Krishna, that time, like people used to give grains in exchange of fruits. They used to exchange something. So Krishna, being little, he's very tiny. He's 1.5, 2 years old. So he took some grains from his mother's kitchen and he's running to give it to the fruit seller lady because he wanted some fruits. But as he's running, the grains are falling from his hands, from his tiny, tiny hands, lotus-like hands, is falling to the floor. So when he reaches the fruit seller lady, he's very little, tiny grains, he's able to get to the fruit seller lady. And the fruit seller lady is looking at Krishna and she's like amazed at the beauty of Krishna. She loves him so much. And even though that was not enough to give him even single fruit, she gave him so many fruits. Like whatever Krishna can carry in both the hands, his arms were full. His arms were full. But she's happy that even though I did not get what I wanted, she's happy that she gave what she had to Krishna. And then Krishna goes inside the house. And when she looks back and tries to take the basket on her head, she sees it is so heavy. What is inside the basket? What's inside the basket? Does anybody know? Yes, Mehak, what is inside the basket?
Jewelry?
Yes. It's filled with so much jewelry and stuff. Krishna just took a few fruits, and what did he give to the fruit seller lady? Jewelry. So many nice gems and jewels that she became so rich. So should we give our time to Krishna? Right? We should give our time to Krishna. Because even if we give, say, 7-10 minutes, even if we're doing one round to Krishna, Krishna reciprocates. But we have to have the love. It's not like, oh, I'm watching my phone and Krishna, 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 Rama, Rama. No, not like that. We have to sit, oh, Krishna, I want to serve you. That's why I'm chanting your name. Radharani, I want to serve you. Right? So when we give something to Krishna, Krishna gives so much more. And this is the story of Vamana Dev. Vamana Dev is giving up everything to Krishna. He's giving up everything. So Ishan, what is your favorite thing?
Krishna.
Favorite thing. What is your favorite thing which you like? You like it so much? Pokemon?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Does anybody has any favorite thing? Like, what do you like so much? Yes, Kathy, what is your favorite thing? I can't hear you.
Being outside and playing.
Being outside and playing. Okay, that's your favorite thing. Yes, Hari, what's your favorite thing?
Legos.
Legos. So, if Krishna asks, can I get your Legos, Hari Govinda? Will you give the Legos to Krishna?
Yeah.
Yeah? So that is what is sacrifice. Vaman Dev asked 3 pieces of land in which he took the entire universe. And Bali Maharaj gave it happily. Will you be happy, Hari, if Krishna says, give me your Legos, will you be happy? Hari, will you be happy when Krishna asks you because they're favorite? Will you be happy?
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice, very nice. That's what we need to see. Right? If we can utilize everything in service of Krishna, Krishna will be very happy. And he'll give you more. He'll probably give you, Hari, something much more. Right? And Kathy, if he says, Krishna says, oh, can you not play outside? I just want to play outside. Will you listen to Krishna? Probably he'll give you yes. You say yes, and Krishna might give you something bigger playground. Because everything comes from Krishna. Everything, every single thing comes from Krishna. So what we were doing, you remember this story? Does anybody remember the story? Okay, I'll give a brief recap. Remember, Rashmi Mataji did the story of the churning of the milk ocean. At that time, what was happening? The demons were defeated in the war with the demigods. And after that, Bali Maharaj was killed, right? Bali Maharaj was killed in that war. And then his spiritual master, Bali Maharaj's spirit guru, who's called as Shukracharya, made him alive through his potencies, through his energies. And he was very, very grateful to Shukracharya. Then Bali Maharaj served the Brahmanas so much. The Brahmanas who were in the line of Bhrigumuni. And the Brahmanas were very happy. They helped him to do this Vishwajit Yagya. They did a sacrifice. You see the sacrifice going on there? And then from the sacrifice came so many things, arrows and garland of flowers, conch shell and everything. So he was given the boon that he will be able to conquer the universe. Then he goes to Indralok and he wants to fight with a big army. Bali Maharaj goes. And Indra, she's like, perplexed. Why? We just defeated this guy. Bali Maharaj was dead. He's come back to life and he wants to fight us again. What's going on? So Indra asked his spiritual master, his guru, Brihaspati, what should we do? Bali Maharaj is looking so confident. What should we do? Then what happens? But Brihaspati says, it is their time. The time has changed. If you fight with them, then you will be killed. So make yourself invisible. So all the demigods became invisible and they left their kingdom. Then Bali Maharaj became the ruler of all the three worlds, right? Then who was the mother of the Indra? Does anybody remember? Who is the mother of Indra? Yes, Ishan.
Aditi.
Aditi, yes. And who is the mother of the demons? Okay, not you, Ishan. Who is the mother of the demons? Does anybody know? Okay. Anybody besides, who is the mother of the demons? Sahas? Do you know? Sahas is muted.
No.
Okay. So the Ditis, the Daityas or the demons come from their mother, Diti, right? And the ones who are not demons, they come from Aditi. And their father is the same, Kashyap, right? So Aditi, who is the mother of the demigods, she was very, very sad. More, she was like, my sons are not here. Everybody has left. She was not feeling good. And her husband, Kashyap Muni, was in meditation for a long time. So when he comes back to see his wife, Aditi, he sees that Aditi is not looking all right. The hermitage is not looking good. What's going on? Then Aditi says that my sons have made them invisible, and this guy, the demon king, Bali Maharaj, is ruling over the world. Can you make sure, she asks him, can you please ensure that my sons can regain their kingdom? And then Bali Maharaj says, you are thinking that these are your sons, but you're the soul. You are thinking only on the level of body. Okay, the only way I cannot help you, the only person who can help you is Vishnu. So you do the Payovrata sacrifice, like the Payovrata austerity, which means Payovrata means, Payo means milk. So for 12 days, she only drank milk and she used to worship Vishnu. For 12 days, she did not eat anything. She was just drinking milk and doing, there's a whole description of how she was worshiping. the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. So then Vishnu became really happy. And then he comes. And he says that, see, I cannot help your sons to defeat Bali Maharaj because he's become very powerful because he's been serving the Brahmanas. So one of the other lessons we learn is we should serve the Brahmanas, pure devotees. So what I can do is I can still get your sons the kingdom. I will come as your son. So what does he do? He then comes as Vaman Dev. So so who left? Who are we missing? There's one more person. I don't know who left. So Vaman Dev comes, he enters Kashyap's body, then he comes, when he came out as a form of Vishnu with 4 hands. And then he became a dwarf. And he had a blackish hue, and he had a kamandalu in his hand, right? And he was very effulgent. It's like the sun has come out. And then they did, all the demigods came, prayed to him. They did the Upanayana ceremony where he was given the thread. So the sun god gave something, Brihaspati gave something, everybody gave something to Vaman Dev. And then Vaman Dev goes to Bali Maharaj's sacrificial area. Ishan, are you paying attention? Or doing something else?
I'm listening.
So then Vaman Dev comes in the sacrificial area of Bali Maharaj. It was like Bali Maharaj and everybody, they were doing one of the sacrifice, and they thought another sun has come out. It was like they already see the sun in the sky, but another sun has come out. And then they see this small little boy is coming. And they knew, oh, this guy is very, very exalted, is very, very great, because there's so much power, there's so much energy coming from his body, there was so much light coming from his body. Everybody knew that this is, so Bali Maharaj got up and he says, what can I do for you? And then Vaman Dev says, I just need 3 pieces of land. And Bali Maharaj is like, why? Just, I am the king of the universe. I can give you 1 big planet also. Why just you need 3 pieces of land? He says, see, if I take more and more, my greed will happen, more will become more and more. If you give me 1 planet, then I will say, oh, I want 10 planets. If you give me 10, yeah, I will ask for 11. There is no end to my greed, right? It happens to us also, right? Mehak, if I give you 1 toy, then you might say, if I had 1 other toy also. Sometimes I say, I have 10 toys. Can I get 11 toys? So we should be happy with what we have, right? So Vaman Dev, what does he say then? No, I just need what I need. I don't need more than that. I'm not trying to be greedy, but I just need 3 pieces of land. Just 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. And he's a small boy. How much land would you think he will get 3 steps? How, like Shriya, when you walk 3 steps, how much is it? Is it a lot? Is like a whole full room? No, right? But what will Vaman Dev do? Let's see. I think this is where we stopped, right? Yes, I think, did we do this? Does anybody remember? Did we read this slide?
I don't think we read this slide.
Okay, I think
Yeah, we read it.
we read this slide.
No.
Yeah.
And okay, now Shukracharya, now Bali Maharaj agrees, okay, I'll give you 3 pieces of land. Then Shukracharya is trying to stop him. Did we read this too? No, right? Shukracharya is the teacher of Bali Maharaj. Who wants to read? Go ahead, Isha.
Shukracharya said, O son of Virochana, this brahmachari in the form of a dwarf is directly the imperishable Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu. Accepting Kashyapa Muni as his father and Aditi as his mother, he has now appeared in order to fulfill the interest of the demigod. You do not know what a dangerous position you have accepted by promising to give him land. I do not think that this promise is good for you. It will bring great harm to humans. This person falsely appearing as a brahmachari is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who has come in this form to take all away your land, wealth, beauty, power, fame, and education. After taking everything from you, he will deliver it to Indra, your enemy. I also have a question.
Yes, go ahead with your question.
It says he would take his education away. How is that possible?
He is just speculating that he is taking, again, you can take your education away by Krishna making you forget something, right? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, right? From me comes remembrance. From me comes forgetfulness. From me comes memory. So if Krishna wants, say, Ishan is a very good speaker. If Krishna wants, he can remove his speaking ability in 1 second. Remember, who is that famous boxer? Muhammad Ali was very good at fighting, very good at boxing, wrestling, very good at wrestling. But when he became sick, he could not even lift a glass of water. How is that possible?
Because Krishna wants it.
Yes. So the teacher is saying, you're fooled. What are you trying to do? You're giving 3 pieces of land to this Brahmana, but this is not Brahmana. So Shukracharya knew that this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's cheating you. He will take everything from you. And he will give this land to Indra, all your things to Indra. So he's giving him like a warning. Okay, who wants to read this next one? Anybody wants to read? Okay, then I will call upon. Shreya, you want to read?
Okay, Prabhuji. You have promised to give him 3 steps of land in charity, but when you give it, he will occupy the 3 worlds. You are a rascal. You do not know what a great mistake you have made. After giving everything to Lord Vishnu, you will have no means of livelihood. Now, how then shall you live? Vaman Dev will first occupy the 3 worlds with 1 step. Then he will take his 2nd step and occupy everything in outer space. And then he will expand his universal body to occupy everything. Where will you offer him the 3rd step? You will certainly be unable to fulfill his promise. And I think that because of this inability, your eternal residence will be in hell.
So he knows exactly what's going to happen. That with the first step, he will take the earth and the lower planet. The 2nd step, he'll take the higher planet. And 3rd step, there will be nothing left to give. This is Vishnu. So Sukracharya, who is the teacher of Vamandev, he knows exactly what Vishnu is going to do. Because then he's going to give this kingdom to Indra. Because that's why he's come, as a son of Aditi and Kashyap. So he's saying, don't make this mistake. Don't make this mistake. Okay, who wants to read next? Sahas, go ahead.
One might argue that since you have already promised, how can you refuse? O best of the demons, just take from me the evidence of the Bharuka Shruti, which says that a promise is truthful preceded by the word Om and untruthful if not. Therefore, the safe course is to say no. Although it is a falsehood, it protects one completely. It draws the compassion of others towards oneself. and it gives one full facility to collect money from others for oneself. Nonetheless, if one always pleads that he has nothing, he is condemned, for he is a dead body while living, or while breathing he should be still breathing he should be killed.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So his Shukracharya is telling you did not say when you took the promise, you did not say Om and I am taking this promise. So he's giving the evidence from the Shastras, from Bhavarcha Shastra, that because if you're not saying Om and you made the promise, then you can still say no, because you will not get any harm. And you should think, if you're giving up everything, where will you live? And Shukracharya is also thinking of himself, because King Bali Maharaj is giving him the money, right? Because he's the teacher. How does Shukracharya live? Because the king, the Bali Maharaj, is giving him the money for him to live. Who will give the money if Bali Maharaj itself has nothing? So he's thinking of himself. So he's saying, if you have to be compassionate to yourself, you have to make sure that you have something, or if you give up everything, what will you be with? Because if you have nothing, you're like a dead body. How will you, what will you eat? Where will you live and everything? So he's saying, don't do this, don't do this. And now what is gonna Bali Maharaj say? Okay, what does Bali Maharaj say? Who wants to read? Nima, you want to read?
Okay. When Bali Maharaj was thus advised by his spiritual master, Shukracharya, his family priest, he remained silent for some time, and then, after full deliberation, he replied to his spiritual master as follows: I am the grandson of Maharaj Prahlada. How can I withdraw my promise because of greed for money when I already say that I shall give this land? How can I behave like an ordinary cheater, especially towards a Brahmana? I do not fear hell, poverty, an ocean of distress, fall down from my position, or even death itself, as much I fear cheating a Brahmana.
Yes, thank you, Nima. See, even though Bali Maharaj knows that his spiritual master, his priest, family priest, Shukracharya, is telling this right thing, he said, I cannot cheat. I cannot cheat, especially a Brahmana, because Brahmanas are the highest class. He says, I cannot cheat somebody. Right? Even if poverty comes, even if I have nothing, even if hell comes to me, I don't care, but I cannot cheat. Right? Sometimes we make promises to our parents or to our teachers. Oh, my new resolution is 3 malas every single day. I will do debate every single day, or I will do this. We make promises, but then we don't keep up the promises. Should we do that? What is the lesson here we are getting from Bali Maharaj? What is the lesson we are getting from Bali Maharaj? That we should not cheat. If we said we made a promise, then we should keep up that promise. Otherwise, who will trust our words? Right? If I tell you that, okay, kids, we will start Ramayana in this year, but I don't start Ramayana, then how will you trust me? Unless I have a very clear explanation. What will happen? Right? Does this happen that you make promises and you don't keep these promises? Does it happen to you guys? Does it happen? So we should think before making promises. Can we keep these promises? If yes, then we should make these promises. We should always try our best to keep our promises. Who wants to take this lesson home, that we will keep our promises? Who wants to keep that promise? Who wants to learn that lesson and say, I will keep my promises? Whatever I do promise to my teacher, to my parents, or to my friends, I will keep those promises. Who wants to take that lesson home? Ishan, you want to take that lesson home? Shreya, you'll keep your promises? Khyati, you will keep your promises? Okay, let's go. Okay, who wants to read? Maima, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhuji. Although he is Vishnu himself, out of fear he has covered himself in the form of a Brahmana to come to me begging. Under the circumstances, because he has assumed the form of a Brahmana, even if he religiously arrests me or even kills me, I shall not retaliate, although he is my enemy. If this Brahmana really is Lord Vishnu, who is worshipped by Vedic hymns, he would never give up his widespread reputation. Either he would lay down having been killed by me, or he would kill me in a fight. Thereafter, the spiritual master Sukracharya, being inspired by the Supreme Lord, cursed his exalted disciple, Bali Maharaj, who was so magnanimous and fixed in truthfulness, that instead of respecting his spiritual master's instructions, he wanted to disobey his order.
Right, so he's again saying, Bali Maharaj, even though he's Vishnu, because he's come in the form of Brahman, I cannot cheat him. And his reputation will be killed. But Vishnu, why is he coming as a beggar? Why doesn't he want to fight? And then Bali Maharaj is not obeying the orders of his spiritual master. Spiritual master, we know, understand, is a guru, right? We never say no to guru, except one condition. What is that condition? If Guru Maharaj is saying, do not serve the Supreme Lord, then you don't listen to the Guru Maharaj, because then that Guru is not right. In this case, Sukracharya is wrong, because he's saying, do not serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. So in that case, if the Guru is giving that instructions, we should not obey those instructions. Otherwise, all instructions, if the Guru says, do not watch TV, do not watch TV. If the Guru says, do not do this, do not do that. If the Guru says, do this, do that. Right? And for us, who was not initiated, Prabhupada is our Guru, right? So we should listen to the instructions of Guru. Unless here, in this case, Shukracharya is not the real Guru. Okay, all right. Who wants to read? You want to read, Mac? Little bit, Mac?
Although you have no knowledge, you have become a so-called learned person, and therefore you dared be so
Impudent.
as to disobey my order. Because of disobeying me, you shall very soon be
bereft of all your opulence.
all your opulence. Even after being cursed in this way by his own spiritual master, Bali Maharaj,
being a great personality,
never
deviated
from his
determination.
Therefore, according to custom, he first offered water to Vamandev and then offered him the gift of land he had promised. Bali Maharaj and
the worshipper of Lord Vamandev jubilantly
washed the Lord Lotus feet and then took the water on his head, for
that water
that water delivers an entire universe.
Thank you. So, here, his own spiritual master, who is Shukracharya, is cursing Bali Maharaj, because Bali Maharaj is not listening. He says, no, I will give 3 pieces of land to Vaman Dev, even though he might be Vishnu, because I don't want to cheat. And so he gets angry. Shukracharya gets angry that you will lose everything. You will be bereft of opulence. Still, Bali Maharaj doesn't get impacted. He offers water to Vaman Dev, and then he says, okay, he washes the feet of Vaman Dev, and he puts on his head, because he's such an exalted person. He puts on his head, saying that I am blessed now. All my forefathers is blessed. Remember, his grandfather. Who is the grandfather of Bali Maharaj? Yes, Ishan. Who is the grandfather of Bali Maharaj?
Prahlad Maharaj.
Yes. Sahas, you have a question?
Oh, but I wanted to say something.
Oh,
So, Bali
yeah.
Maharaj's spiritual master, isn't he like a bad guru for that, for telling him to not to forget his promise?
Yes, he's a bad guru in this case. Shukracharya is a bad guru. You're saying Shukracharya is a bad guru, right?
Yeah, Shukracharya.
Yeah, Shukracharya is a bad guru. In that case, you reject that person. Yes. You reject that bad guru. Okay, so now he rejected and he is washing the feet. He's washing the feet of Vaman Dev Bali Maharaj. Okay, who wants to read next? I think Adhav, this is too big for you. Adhav, you want to read the half the page? Adhav? Okay, he's muted. All right. Sahas, you want to read?
I can read.
Okay. Adhav, you read half the page, and then Hari, you read half the page. Okay?
Where do I stop?
The unlimited supreme personality of Godhead. You stop here in great saintly persons.
Okay. The unlimited supreme personality of Godhead, who had assumed the form of Vamana, and began increasing in size, acting in terms of the material energy, until everything in the universe was within his body, including the various holes in the universe.
Including the Earth, the planetary systems.
The sky and the directions, the various holes in the universe, the seas, the oceans, the birds, beasts, human beings, the demigods, and the great saintly persons.
Thank you. Hari, you want to read? Hari? Okay. Adhav, you want to continue?
Okay.
Bali Maharaj?
Bali Maharaj, along with all the Acharyas, and the members of the assembly observed the Supreme Personality of Godhead's universal body, which is full of 6 opulences. That body contained everything within the universe, including all the gross material elements, the senses, the sense objects, the mind, intelligence, and false ego, the various kinds of living entities,
Mama,
and the actions of
can you come into the bedroom?
reactions of the 3 modes of material nature.
Okay, thank you. So, what is Bali Maharaj seeing right now? That Vamandev has taken the form of the universal form, the Virat Rupa. You guys, once people who have read the Bhagavad Gita, right? They've seen how everything is in Krishna, everything is in Vishnu, right? That form, like if you, some of you who Ishan, Mahima, Sahas, they have read, if they have read the chapter 11 of Bhagavad Gita, Arjun asks Krishna, can you please show your Virat Rupa? And what does he show? He has so many heads, he has so many arms, and everything, the mountains, the lakes, all the animals, all the living entities, all the humans, everybody is in Krishna's body. He's huge. And Krishna gave special eyes to Arjun to see that. Even he was showing that all the Kauravas who were fighting against Arjun and the Pandavas, they were going inside the mouth of Krishna, and Krishna was eating them. They were getting killed. Same thing here, the Virat Rupa is happening. Bali Maharaj is seeing that once he's expanding Vamandev, everything is in him. This is what is Krishna, right? This is called the universal form. But Krishna also has a personal form, which is he has a flute. He plays the flute. He has the curly hair. He has the lotus-like eyes, a moon-like face. That's a personal form where you can play with him. But this is a very, like, it is a very big, gigantic form. Some people think, right? Oh, we cannot see God. But if you see the things outside, the trees are in Krishna's body. We are in Krishna's body. The animals are in Krishna's body. Everything is in Krishna's body. Okay, so this is what is Krishna is Vishnu showing. Okay, all right. Any questions so far before we move forward? Any questions anybody has? Okay. All right. So who wants to read next? Sahas, you had raised the hand. Do you want to read next?
Yeah, sure. Many associates headed by Sunanda and the other chief associates and accompanied by all the predominating deities of the various planets, offered prayers to the Lord, who wore a brilliant helmet, bracelets, and glittering earrings that resembled fish. On the Lord's bosom were the lock of hair called Srivatsa and the transcendental jewel named Kastuba. He wore a yellow garment covered by a belt, and he was decorated by the flower garland surrounded by bees. Manifested himself in this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose activities are wonderful, covered the entire surface of the earth with one footstep, the sky with his body, and in all directions with his arms.
Is like this is again a beautiful form of the Lord, where again it's a gigantic form, but he has a garland. It's a fresh garland, and the garland is so huge, right? Because he has a huge body, and it is covered by the bees. He has hair on his chest, a little hair on his chest. That's the Shivatsa. This is where the Lakshmi ji lives, and he has the Kastuba jewel. He had the helmet on his head, so bracelets, glittering earrings, right? Even in the Damodarashtakam, we see that his earrings are like the shark or the fish. So with one step, remember he was given that he will be able to give 3 steps. With one step, what does he do? He covers the entire earth and all the direction of the sky with that one step. With one step. Can we imagine that, how big that would be? How big is our footstep? How big is our footstep? This much, this much. If you're a gorilla, probably a big, what is it called? the Yeti or somebody like the big gorilla, which is fictional or whatever, it's like this much. But this is like the whole earth, all the directions, the sky is covered. So how huge Vishnu must be. Okay, let's look. Ishan, you want to read the next one?
As the Lord took his second step, he covered the heavenly planets, and not even a spot remained for the third step, for the Lord's foot extended higher and higher, beyond Maharlok, Janalok, Tapolok, and even Satyalok. When Lord Brahma, who was born of a lotus flower, saw that effulgence of his residence, Brahmaloka, had been reduced by the glaring effulgence from the toenails of Lord Vamana, he approached the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Brahma was accompanied by all the great sages, headed by Marichi, and by yogis like Sanadana, but in the presence of that glaring effulgence, even Lord Brahma and his associates seemed insignificant.
Yeah. Now with the second step, what is doing? See, Earth and the lower planets are covered. But with the second step, he is going and all the higher planets he's doing with it, covering that. He's putting his step forward and it's covering everything, like where Brahmaji lives, the Maharlok, the Tapalok, the Janalok, even where Maharlok, where King Indra is there, everything is covered. And his toenail, right? Because he's so big, his toenail, there's an outer layer on the universe. It breaks that outer layer, and that out from the causal ocean. You know the causal ocean, the causal ocean, the Kshirosagar, the causal ocean's water comes inside, and it goes to the heavenly planets. This is what is Ganga. There is a whole story of how Ganga comes. Ganga comes from the toenail of Vaman Dev. Do we understand why we say that Ganga comes from the feet of Vishnu? Do we understand now? Because when he took the second step, Vaman Dev took the second step. Let's see if we have a picture here which explains this. Let's see. I don't have a picture of that. But if you see this leg, which is expanding, right? Everybody is praying to him. That second leg, when it expands, it goes beyond this universe. It makes a hole through which the causal ocean, in which the Mahavishnu is there, and then that water comes inside, and that is Ganga, and that goes to the heavenly planets, and then through the heavenly planets, it comes to earth in the Shiva's locks of hair, and it comes to the earth. There's a whole big story. We will not go into that detail, how Ganga comes here. So now the second step, everything is covered. All the three worlds in this universe is covered. And so many demigods are praying to this, and Brahmaji is also praying to him. But like, he's become huge. He's occupied everything. They are praying to him. Now, where will Vaman Dev put the third step? Okay, Mahima, you want to read the next one?
Sure, Prabhuji. When the demoniac followers of Maharaj Bali saw that their master, who had been determined in performing sacrifice, had lost all their possessions to Vamandev, who had taken them away on the plea of begging 3 paces of land, spoke as follows: O Lord Bali Maharaj, because of his position in performing the yajna, has given up the power to punish. Taking advantage of this, our eternal enemy, Vishnu, dressed in the form of a brahmachari beggar, had taken away all his possessions.
Yeah, so now all the followers, the demons, are getting agitated. What is going on? Now Vishnu is taken, he's coming, he's a cheater, they're saying, he's a cheater. He's coming as a beggar, and he's taken away all the land of our master, of our king. So now they are speaking like this. So it is 11:26. I think we should, okay, we will do this one slide and then we'll stop. Okay, let's do this quick. Where's Shreya? Shreya, can you read this?
Okay. Therefore, it is our duty to kill the Vamandev, Lord Vishnu. It is our religious principle and the way to serve our master. After making the decision, the demonic followers of Maharaj Bhavi took up their various weapons with a view to killing Vamandev. When the associates of Lord Vishnu saw the soldiers of the demons coming forward in violence, they smiled, taking up their weapons. They forbade the demons to continue their attempt. When Bali Maharaj saw that his own soldiers were being killed by the associates of Lord Vishnu, he remembered the curse of Sukracharya and forbade his soldiers to continue fighting.
Yeah. So now these demoniac servants of Bali Maharaj wanted to fight and they are trying to hurt Vamandev. But the Vishnu's associates, they're fighting and they're killing these people. And even Bali Maharaj is saying, see, I was cursed by Sukracharya that I will lose everything. So even if you fight, you will lose this battle. It says Bali Maharaj is saying, do not fight with him. So with that, we will stop here. So we have 4 or 5 slides left. Next week, we'll want to finish this and then we will do a Kahoot. Are you guys ready for a Kahoot on Vamandev? Yes? We will do a Kahoot next week and we'll finish this. After finishing, we'll do a Kahoot. And then the following we'll do the debate on am I the body or the soul, right? We want to finish. Otherwise, if we do the debate in the middle, we will forget everything again. Sounds good? Anybody has any questions? So okay, I'll ask 2 people, or if you want to raise your hand saying, what did you learn? Like, what is the most important thing you think take away from you from this? What is the takeaway for you? What have we learned so far? Like, what should we do? Okay. Nimai, what did you learn? Like, what should we do? Like, practical lesson. What should we do? From this story of Vamandev, what should we do? Okay, you think, Shreya, go ahead.
You should serve Brahmanas.
Yes, very nice lesson, very nice lesson. Okay, Sahas, any practical tip or something which you learned from the story so far?
You should, that it's important to have a good guru, like a right guru.
Yes, very nice, very nice. Mahima?
Yeah, I was gonna say that gurus are important in order to like lead your life the right way.
Yes, very nice. Also for me, and that will end, is the most important thing is if you give something to Krishna, Krishna will give you much more. Right? We spoke about Sudama. We spoke about the fruit selling lady. We are not speaking of Baldiri Maharaj. He's losing everything. But see, what will he get? Right? If you give something to Krishna, Krishna will give you much, much more. So if Krishna is asking for your time, 10 minutes, 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, or whatever, or helping your parents in doing deity dressing or worshipping the deities, or even helping your kid, mom and dad in doing chores of the house, they'll be happy and they will give you something. Ishan, what is your takeaway from this story so far? Any one small takeaway?
Should keep my promises.
Okay, so Ishan is saying he should keep his promises. He's saying in front of everyone. Okay. All right. With that being said, we'll say our prayers. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah ananta koti vaishnav Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.